Hello and welcome to another episode of Pick 3 DST, where I give you 3 defenses I like and 1 defense I'm fading for week 13 of the NFL season. I'm your host Eric Samulski, and as always, these are not my full weekly DST rankings. If you want to check those, you can click the link below or go to RotoBaller.com. Check out the article, which I'll update during the week with weather updates and injury concerns and anything else that I think changes the DST landscape. We're going to start with the defense I'm fading for this week, and it's the New York Jets. Consensus has them at 6th, and I have them at 13th. I do like the Jets defense, and the 13th ranking means that they're playable in most league formats, but I don't think that they have the ceiling that the consensus rankings make it seem like they do. The Vikings give up the 8th fewest points to opposing fantasy defenses at just 6.7 points per game, so that limits the Jets' ceiling a little bit here. Plus, we don't really know how good the Jets' offense is going to look. They probably won't have Michael Carter. And we don't really know if Mike White is as good as he looked last week against the Bears because the Bears' defense is terrible. So it's possible the Jets' offense will place the defense in some bad situations or at least give the Vikings short field position for a couple times. This Vikings offense is just really talented with a lot of offensive pieces that can hurt the Jets' defense. And we get 1 p.m. Kirk Cousins, which has been a problem for fantasy defenses in the past. All of this means I think the Jets are a solid, maybe floor play, but I don't think they have the ceiling for a top 10 defense this week. Next is my sleeper defense for the week, and it's the Washington Commanders. Consensus has them at 12th, and I have them up at 7th. And the Commanders seem to be a sleeper defense for me a lot, and I don't really know why people continue to underrate them. They're the 5th ranked defense over the last 6 weeks, averaging 9.3 fantasy points a game as a defense. They are 2nd in the NFL in tackles for a loss, 4th in the NFL in pressure rate, and 6th in the NFL in opponent scoring rate. So this is a pretty good defense overall, going up against a Giants offense that's really kind of struggled a bit of late. They have some offensive line issues as well, so that Commanders pass rush could get to Daniel Jones. Plus, they should get Chase Young back this week. We've said that the last 2 weeks, and it hasn't happened. But last week, Young missed because of an illness, not because of his injury. So he should be healthier this week, and I think we're going to get Chase Young back in a division game that the Commanders really want to win against the Giants. So I expect this defense to show up, and I think that they're a solid top 10 option. Next is my solid defense for the week, and it's the Seattle Seahawks. Consensus has them at 3rd, and I have them at 5th. I know the box score doesn't look good for the Seahawks last week, but that game really changed on one play. Josh Jacobs fumbled the ball in the 4th quarter, but the refs ruled that his forward progress was stopped, even though they didn't rule his forward progress was stopped on the field. So the play wasn't reviewable. The Raiders wound up scoring on that drive and then going on to score in overtime. So 14 points should have been taken off the board for the Seahawks there, and they would have gotten the extra points for fantasy points for the fumble recovery. So I really think we don't want to overreact too much to that one play, but also sometimes you get bad games. The Seahawks are now going up against a Rams team that gives up the most points to opposing fantasy defenses at 15.1 points a game. The Rams just lost Allen Robinson for the season. They've already lost Cooper Kupp for the season. There are rumors that Matthew Stafford won't play again this season. So this is just not an offense that we should be scared of. And the Seahawks are 4th in the NFL in turnover rate. So you're getting a backup quarterback and backup wide receivers against a team that is a ball-hawking defense. I think the Seahawks are going to capitalize this week for a top 5 week. And my stud defense for the week is the Baltimore Ravens. Consensus has them 2nd, and I have them 3rd. They are the 4th ranked defense over the last 6 weeks, averaging 9.8 points per game, which we kind of expected when they traded for stud linebacker Roquan Smith, who has helped to solidify this defense. They are also 2nd in the NFL in turnover rate. They're 6th in the NFL in sacks. So they're a pretty good defense overall, going up against a Broncos team that gives up the 8th most points to opposing fantasy defenses at 10.1 points per game. This Broncos offense is inept. They can't really move the ball. Plus, they want to run the ball all the time. And the biggest weakness right now for the Ravens is that their secondary has been inconsistent. And I can't see this Broncos team, led by Russell Wilson, who seems to have forgotten how to play quarterback, taking advantage of the Ravens' secondary issues. So I think the Ravens are a really solid play here against the Broncos offense I just have no faith in. If you haven't yet, please click below to like and subscribe to get Pick 3 DST every single week, as well as the rest of our RotoBaller video content, our start-sit videos, our weekly rankings videos, our DFS videos, so we can not only help you win your leagues, but win some money this year.